Massachusetts, the state which was like the model for the Obamacare exchange, according to Obama, had to delay their Obamacare exchange for a couple months because they have 50,000 applications that haven't begun going through. And the woman in charge of it, Jean, was just crying in front of a panel yesterday because this has made her life so hard.
It's pretty devastating when you have a public official crying on camera about how crappy Obamacare is. This is Massachusetts. You mentioned they're the model state. This is all supposed to already have been in place. Like, everything should just run really easily. They're just putting on a different set of clothes now.
I don't want to slight my own people being a Massachusetts guy, but I mean, if anybody deserves to just sob in public, it's a Massachusetts Obamacare bureaucrat.
I think it's pretty sad. I actually might leave and go help. Get a new job. Looks like they need some more
You're going to go up there to Massachusetts?
Yeah, I can't wait to
there's
just
more
read
snow
through
up
all
there.
those applications. Yeah,
so they got 50,000 applications. Takes 2 hours, they say, an application. That's 100,000 hours of work, which is like what any one of us does in a single week.
We had the whole moral imperative for Obamacare. We needed to pass this because we had so many uninsured people in this country. We've passed it. We're going to spend a ton of money on it. It's a huge cluster, and now 10 years from now, we're still going to have the same uninsured population. That's inexcusable.
Right, and they're using, remember, like a vehicle for which they're signing up all these people is Medicaid, and they have this huge Medicaid expansion, and they're like, oh, we're getting all these people signing up through Medicaid. But the problem is we're seeing increasingly, week after week, fewer and fewer doctors even accepting Medicaid patients. So it doesn't even matter if you have the coverage.
If they could only have the success of the war on poverty. The Medicaid thing is the worst, in my opinion, because then you have like a president up there in the State of the Union bragging about how many people are stuck in a social safety net. Like, under my administration, we have increased Medicaid enrollees. Like, that's not a good thing.
It's like, we've given everybody a car, but yeah, they're all broken down sitting in their driveways, but everyone has one.
Everybody's on food stamps. Like, woo! When do you think the Democrats are just going to try to, like, we need to cut waste. We need to eliminate the CBO.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
let's eliminate accountability.
All them calculators, like, you know what? Calculators are they decide winners and losers, and we can't allow mathematicians to be deciding winners and losers because everybody's a unique little snowflake.
In
right?
fairness, don't go defending the CBO because the CBO gets things wrong constantly.
They are constantly full. So this last week, we've had two major contrasts in Republican leadership. You've had people who are leading, and then you've had the leadership. When the Obamacare fight happened in October, they were like, why are we fighting the continuing resolution? Paul Ryan's like, wait for the debt limit. That's the battle. Okay, so 5 months later, 6 months since I started talking about it the month before, the debt limit fight comes, and they just beg for mercy.
Right.
And just rolled. It's like, well, you've had 6 months, 5 months to strategize this.
Right.
Is your plan?
Right.
They're the worst leadership ever.
They lied to their colleagues about what they intended to do.
They'll tell people anything they possibly can to make them not fight today. It's always tomorrow. And what is leadership doing? They're like, don't talk about this. We need to talk about Obamacare now. Okay, let's talk about Obamacare. And leadership's like, JK, amnesty.
And Chris, you wrote about this last year. There's never the framing where the press accepts that inaction is a positive good because there's always this necessity that Congress has to be moving forward. A bill has to be passed. A law has to be signed. Therefore, that is positive. And the press does not accept that blockading the president's agenda is actually something that Congress is capable of doing within the realm of a positive benefit for the country.
The term get something done implies that something is like a good thing.
That, I think, is a fair point.
So the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition is out. They've given up on the whole swimsuit thing.
Which is awesome.